All right, welcome into the Gator Report, brought to you by Intech Builders and Planet Smoothie. We're here with Coach Goodspeed after the victory last night against the Dunedin Falcons.
Yeah.
So congratulations.
Thank you. And thanks for meeting up. It's always good to talk football with you the day after. And I do have to say a big thank you to you. The logo looked amazing.
Oh, good.
In the field. Way to go above and beyond. And the boys appreciate you, and I appreciate you. And it just dresses up the stadium. I thought you did a heck of a job.
Well, thank you. Yeah, and we'll try to keep it up throughout the 7 home game season. You know. And all the rain that we've been having.
For sure. But, I mean, to be here at I heard you're here at like 5:45 in the morning.
Yeah.
Just to make sure we look good on Friday nights, and the boys had a great place to play. That's amazing, Christian. I do appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm happy to do it. Well, let's get into last night's game. Let's talk about, offense, defense, special teams, penalties, and next week, right? That's our normal agenda. So, starting off with the offense, initial drive, you guys, first of all, you won the toss, elect to take the ball.
Yep.
And if you're going to be as bold as to do that, then you better score.
Exactly.
And you guys did that on a 12-play drive. I think there were 8 minutes left in the quarter at the end of that drive, which was the longest drive of the game. But just overall, talk about the offense last night.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. I mean, we took the ball, drove down the field, and eating up clock, ball possession, in trying to win that time of possession battle. It is a huge thing, and I think that's something we need to work on as we go forward into our schedule. So I thought the boys did a great job on that drive. I ultimately told Chance to decide if he wanted to take the ball or defer, right, and get some leadership and say, if this is what we're going to do, then we better score on the first drive. And they did, and so it was a good job. I thought, offensively, we did a lot of good things. I mean, Eli rushed for over 100 yards last night. So, great game. He, showed excellent burst to the hole, through the hole, and to finish his runs. So he did a great job, and that's good to see because we wanted to establish a ground game, which we haven't had yet.
Let me ask you about that.
Yeah.
So, I'm not to take anything away from him because he had an awesome game, but how about that O-line? It looked like you could drive a truck through some of those holes.
No, absolutely. All 5 of them played well, right? Obviously, we had a couple moments there that it didn't look as pretty as we wanted to in pass protection, but physically up front, if you take a look at the film from behind the tight cot, I mean, we're just rolling people off the football. I thought Dom, Grayson, and Davies, they all played did a great job up front being physical. When it was time to hit, they hit, and that's good. Our tackles were getting on the guys and blocking and doing what they do, and they did a good job. We got to fix a couple things with them, but overall, we're moving in the right direction for the offensive line, and that's where it starts. And I challenged them. I said, we need to find a ground game.
Yep.
But overall, offensively, pretty good. I mean, we're sitting here today talking about the 4th and 1 or 4th and 3, I think it was, that we went for and didn't convert, and then a field goal. But all the rest of the drives, produced points. Mm-hmm. And I think at the end of the game, looking at the offense, they're like, we missed out on a couple points. Not just me saying that, but the overall feeling was we thought we could do a little bit more. So that's great. I mean, we're moving in the right direction.
When you say a little bit more, what were the stats? Do you have the ground game?
So I have the stats, thanks to Mr. Ed Campbell, who gets it to me every morning after the game. So Chance was 18 for 22 for 224 yards, 3 touchdowns. Excellent completion rate, some good yardage there. He also rushed for 61 yards. Right, and he's doing a good job keeping the defense all honest because when they drop everybody at back and he scrambles, he picks it up. Eli was 15 carries for 101 yards. So there's our 100-yard gainer.
Did he have a touchdown also?
Yes, he had 2 touchdowns, right? And Chance had a rushing touchdown on a quarterback sneak on the goal line. Isaiah came in and spelled him and went 7 for 39. And then Sebastian was 2 for 9. So overall, some pretty good numbers. I think total offense, we were 434. So right in range where we want to be. Again, we didn't produce points on that one kick and going for it. I think that you talk about the numbers, and it's a great numbers, and then you're still disappointed because you didn't finish on a field goal, and you got a turnover on downs on a 4th down. So, and the boys felt that echo after the game, like we could do better. So,
yeah,
a lot of good things came from it. A lot of guys stepped up in leadership. Jake, and I know we're talking about offense, but Jake Mason had a heck of a game on defense. And, his leadership is starting to come through. He's like, this is not how we're playing defense. Yeah. And pumped it up. And as soon as we came out, right away, I think they were negative yards on their first possession. And they gave the ball right back to us, and then we went down and scored. So, and that's just more and kind of where the program is, and we're just kind of raising that up.
Yeah, I thought the defense started out not as typically as strong as we are accustomed to, right? Falcons kind of marched down into our territory earlier in the game, or at least the first half, and uncustomary.
Yeah. Well, when you're missing your Mike linebacker, it changes the dynamic, and we're shuffling people around. Yeah. And I thought the boys did a good on all the adjustments that we had to make to get them there. And Anthony, always puts us in the best position to get that and use the personnel that we have.
Yep.
So, and you put a different guy in a different spot, and they have to scrape differently, or they got to fill different. It really changes how the defense is.
Yeah.
But overall, I thought the defense, did very well.
Oh, yeah.
And you say, well, Coach, they gave up 21 points. Okay. Well, they've covered our butts sometimes, and we covered their, butts on offense.
Yeah. Jake and Richie.
Evan and AJ. And
these guys were playing in the backfield of the Falcons, for sure.
And that's the other part of it, right?
Yeah.
It was a very physical game for our defensive line. They were getting after the quarterback. They were making hits. They did give up a couple explosive plays.
Right.
And ultimately, that's what you need to stop.
Right.
But, you take those explosive plays away, and I know you can't. It's hypothetical and all that. But most of the time, they were living in the backfield, and their quarterback was under, duress the whole night.
Correct.
And then, the big plays came. So erase those, where you at with everything.
Yeah.
And, Dunedin did a great job taking advantage of that. Yep. And throwing the ball where it needed to be when we were attacking. So
yeah, I don't know if Ed gave you any, or he probably doesn't give you any statistics on penalties, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It was a penalty-ridden game. Lots of penalties, probably close to 18 penalties in the game. Not all on us, but there were some procedural stuff and a good mix.
Well, offensively, that has to change. We're just not dialed into our quarterback's voice, and moving prior to the snap with an offensive lineman with emotion and all that, and that needs to change, and that's going to be fixed very quickly. Physical penalties, right? It's a judgment call. It's going to happen.
Right.
I'm trying to think of the other penalties that we had. We had a holding. We had 2 holdings.
Yep.
And that's just a little bit of making sure you're moving your feet.
Yeah.
But the pre-snap procedure ones are the ones that really drive a coach crazy.
Yeah. And then we had a couple of personal fouls that were mouth penalties.
Oh, yeah, there
and
was.
those are avoidable.
For sure, and we've already had that conversation. So,
Yeah.
which there'll be, we call them rewards for that.
No, thank you for
Yes.
that. All right, so we touched on offense, defense, penalty. How about special teams?
So special teams. I mean, the kickoff. We changed the landing spot for the kickoff, so we could kind of be a little more, surprise the other team where it's going to be. Sometimes we go to the end zone. He did a good job with that, and then pooching it back and forth just to nullify any speed on the kickoff return team.
Yep.
Overall, pretty good. I think we had a turnover on that unit, and then we had three touchbacks.
Yeah.
So good there. Kickoff return. We got to do that 4 times. Decent. They had 2 go into the end zone, I believe, and maybe all of them. I don't remember, to be honest with you. But I know 2 of them went back in for a touchback, so not bad there.
Yeah.
We didn't punt.
No, I don't think
Yeah,
we
we
did.
didn't- we didn't
I don't
punt.
think we punted, but
Punt return. Pretty good job. We had a couple kickoff or punt returns that went pretty well. Putting the 2 returners back there with Danilo and Josh, and then coming after it with a single returner. So good stuff there.
I think we had one of our kickoffs that they ran back. I think we got saved by a penalty, but I think they brought it right from the goal line, and without that penalty, it would have been an explosive play. But
I didn't watch the film on that one yet. Special teams is for last night. I was up watching just offense. Special teams is for today.
okay. But yeah, they did.
But the thing that sticks in my mind, special teams wise, is the field goal. They punched some holes into our left side, and that's. I mean, where's the block going to come from this week? It's going to be from the left side. So get ready to go. Hold on. Yeah. So we need to be more firm there and physical, and we need to get more lift on the football.
Yeah.
That's, very frustrating because that's a unit that we've been working on for, again, since the beginning of summer, and it reared its head at River Ridge.
Yeah.
And then last night.
Well, we got to talk about a player of the game. Melendez is, I think is a strong candidate.
His first 100-yard game.
Yep.
Very good.
And then Alejandro Davies. I mean, had a heck of a game, I thought. And then
Probably his most physical game to date. I think he had like 8 or 9 pancakes. I mean, just pulling and blowing people up and knocking off the football. And that could also be said of Grayson coming off the football and getting that big push.
Yep.
And then also Dom. And, Dom with his physicality and leadership. They bring some nasty, and I think it's challenged those 3 inside guys. Davies would be a great choice, though, for this week.
Yeah, well, I think I'm going to go with D. Rich. I mean, he had 3 touchdowns. We finally, we've been talking about him all summer long, and then last week was a good game for him, but this week with 3 touchdowns, I think that's going to be the player of the game. Yeah,
no, it's a great choice too. He's and we've talked about this for many weeks. You and I and him in meetings that he's this just big-bodied tight end. Excuse me, that we need to be able to take full advantage of. Mm-hmm. And I don't think. You'd see a little bit of on the practice field, and it would kind of disappear a little bit in the game. And I keep encouraging him and telling him, and he worked his butt off the past 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I told him we're going to throw it until you see exactly how important this could be and how good you could be at it. And Chance delivered some nice footballs to him, and he did his physical part and raised his hands up and got it, and that's what he can be.
Yeah.
And it turns into a weapon for us.
Yeah. I don't think he's reached his potential yet. I think that there's a whole nother gear there that we haven't seen yet.
I agree with you, and he's got to believe it and find it. But so far, I love the progress.
Yeah.
He's doing a good job, and he was, excited for it to a point, and I think that everything that I saw on the practice field and the hard work just showed up on Friday. And to his, that's 3 touchdowns for him. And how many yards did he say he had? Bunch of papers there.
Yep.
Let me take a look, because I think it's important to say, because he went out and worked, and he deserves acknowledgement for what he did.
Yeah.
So he had receiving, Dylan.
Well, I think
65 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So
big game.
Great game by him.
Yeah, great game by him, and I think we're 3 games into the season.
Mm-hmm.
I think as each week progresses, I think we're going to see a lot more from this guy.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think across the board, generally you see a big improvement from week 2 to 3 on everything goes, then it kind of crests off a little bit, and then you kind of, hopefully as you go, you keep rising, and that's the full expectation with this team. So something else that has to be mentioned, D. Rich, player of the game, can't disagree with it. He did a great job, right? And he did exactly what we asked him to do, and that's what helped your team win football games.
Mm-hmm.
But Jake Mason on the defense side of the ball,
yeah. I should have mentioned that earlier. I mean, we gave him player of the game in the preseason game.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I probably didn't mention him earlier, but yeah that would have.
That was one of his most physical, maybe one of the best games I've seen him play.
Yeah.
Pleasure to watch.
Yeah.
Just him being physical and getting through the line. I saw him take the center and just stiff arm him and drive him all the way back to the quarterback.
Yeah.
And that's what he can do.
Yeah.
He just has to do that day in and day out.
I'm looking forward to seeing that highlight video that the boys put out of their previous game, because that's going to be a good one. And, listen, I think another thing that I saw last night that really shone through is the gang tackling. Like, once one guy got there, there was just a swarm of jerseys coming in there to finish off these tackles, and that's what you want to see.
Well, and Coach Hendricks has been working hard to make sure that happens. It's not just him working hard, but it takes the 11 guys to believe in that.
Right.
And, I thought a couple times we missed a tackle, but everybody was rallying to the football, and that saved a big play.
Yeah.
And that's going to pay dividends, because we have a huge challenge this week in Zephyr Hills.
Yeah, when you're in the booth and I got a spotter, and we're looking at the tackles. He's calling out who's on offense. I'm looking down at the roster, and then by the time I look up, there might already be 6 guys making the tackle, and we're waiting for the pile to unpeel to see who was the first guy there.
Make sure you don't call the wrong name now. Yeah. Because you're going to be upset with you.
Yeah, well, so, that's a tough thing. That's a tough thing to get those black jerseys and get in those numbers.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm relying on a spotter all the time, and I will tell you, sometimes they call a number which I already know can't be, because they're on defense or offense or whatever the case may be, and I just look at the spotter and say, oh boy.
The one thing we didn't talk about was the field goal going into halftime. And we talked about before a little bit. So obviously Monday morning quarterback, you could say either way, should we went for it or kick the field goal. So the flow and the dynamic of the game, I think, was the right call to go for the field goal. Ultimately, it got blocked, so you can say, wow, we should have went for it.
Right.
But I think, so first quarter dominated it. It was 21-0, right? Somewhere in there, I can't remember when the scores came. It was 21-0.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, Dunedin found some life and, fought back. So at that point of the game now, it's 21-14. So I think that, we moved the ball pretty well going into it with a handful of seconds left. Instead of taking a shot for the end zone, 80%, 90%, whatever our rate is of scoring, is the field goal to be the correct to regain momentum going into the halftime and come out with it.
Yeah.
So that makes it a 2-possession game.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
Now, I feel like we do have a strong kicker.
Yep.
But we just made mistakes up front.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that should be money for him.
I'm with you. So I think going back and, even as a coach, coordinator, whatever, you want to, think about the decisions afterwards. So, like, what if I have this situation next time? I think it's 100% you kick it there. And let's give some other data for it. I think Mitchell played Jefferson last night, and they had a few ticks left on the clock, and they could have went for the game-winning field goal, but they wanted to take one more shot at the end zone. Quarterback gets sacked, time off the clock.
Yeah.
They lose the game.
Yeah.
Every game's different, and it's a different situation. But I think to recapture momentum, which momentum is a huge thing in football.
Yep.
People who've never played football before doesn't understand that it actually affects you. And I thought that was the right call. Now, it could go the opposite way because we got blocked, and so momentum swings back to Dunedin's favor. But I think when we came in for halftime, there was enough leadership in the locker room to say, this isn't it. This isn't what we do. So, everybody will have their opinion on it, but at the end of the day, it's my call, and that's what we did.
Yeah, and I think the book would say that you kick right there.
For sure.
Right? All right, let's talk about next week. So when we reviewed the schedule, we did our little review of the schedule at Planet Smoothie before the season started. I kind of described this is where you go start the little meat grinder section of the schedule, right?
Agreed.
Starting out next week here at the Swamp with Zephyr Hills, who is they're on a roll.
Yeah, very good. They're playing great football. They're very fast. It's going to be a challenge. They got a good little running back. Up front, they're playing well. And then the secondary is very fast.
Yeah. So after that, you guys are going to go on the road.
Yep, a little bit of a road trip to Leesburg. They're having a good season so far. I think they're 2-1. I think they dropped their game last night. I'm not sure even who to, but and then we have Mitchell, and then we're on bye, and then we hit the back end of the season.
Yeah.
So, which is crazy. I mean, it's we start talking about these games, and you feel like when you kick off the preseason game, it's like, oh, it's going to be a long one.
Yeah.
And now we're already 3 games in.
Yep.
And it feels like it's going that fast.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Okay. Well, I wish you a great week of practice.
Yeah.
We'll be here loud and proud on Friday trying to defend the Swamp against the Bulldogs. And as always, thank you for all your time.
No, thank you for what you do. Appreciate
Go Gators.
it. Go Gators.